This is an evaluation report for Sadie Jones, who is a second grade student at Pinewood Elementary School. The reason for this referral is because Sadie's mother and her teacher, Mrs. Myro, have both become increasingly concerned about Sadie's reading ability. Sadie's mother reports that she is having a difficult time getting Sadie to complete any of her reading homework, and when Sadie does comply, she is unable to complete this work without significant help. Mrs. Myro has been working one-on-one with Sadie, and during this time, she has been focusing on learning phonemes, which most of the class has mastered, and sight words. With this one-on-one help, Sadie has made some progress with sight words, but still struggles with letter sounds and sounding out words. Questions that the IEP team would like answered through this evaluation are: how does Sadie learn best in the classroom? What are Sadie's strengths and weaknesses in reading? And what accommodations and/or modifications may benefit Sadie? The next section is background information. In first grade, Sadie's first grade teacher, Mrs. Lynn, reported an apparent deficiency in reading, but she felt that Sadie would be able to progress in reading with a smaller group instruction. Sadie was placed in a Title I reading program in February of 2014. And although Sadie did make some gains in reading comprehension and letter identification, Mrs. Lynn and the Title I teacher both felt that she would benefit from a more individualized reading instruction. The next session discusses the assessment method that was used to evaluate Sadie. So to assess Sadie's academic achievement skills in reading, the test of sight word reading efficiency was administered. This is a norm reference test that measures Sadie's ability to sound out words accurately and fluently, and also measures her ability to recognize familiar words as whole units or sight words. The testing results are on for the test of word reading, sight word reading efficiency, are on page 3. So on the sight word efficiency, which is the top box, it states that Sadie earned a standard score of 82, which places Sadie in a below average range when compared to peers of the same age. On phonemic decoding efficiency, Sadie had a standard score of 88, and this also placed Sadie in a below average range when compared to peers of the same age group. So for the informal evaluation, so a few tests were administered here to determine which specific areas in reading were of strength and weakness for Sadie. Reading skills assessment was administered along with the Yop-Singer assessment of phonemic awareness. The basic skills reading assessment measures Sadie's ability to identify and produce rhymes, identify letter sounds, and identify beginning, end, and middle sound. The Yop-Singer assessment test measures Sadie's ability to segment words. So the results of the reading skills assessment, Sadie was able to accurately identify 80% of the rhymes given, and when given a word, was able to produce a rhyming word 90% of the time. So this is an area of strength for Sadie. When asked to produce a sound for specific letters, Sadie was able to correctly identify 77% of the letters. The last part of this assessment asked Sadie to identify beginning, middle, and end sounds to a specific word provided. Sadie excelled at identifying the beginning sounds scoring 90% of the items correctly, but struggled to correctly produce the middle and ending sound. The second test administered was the Yopsinger Assessment of Phonemic Awareness. Sadie accurately segmented 50% of the words provided on the Yopsinger. She seemed to be most successful when isolating sounds in words with 2 or 3 sounds. By the end of the assessment, she did appear to become increasingly frustrated. So the end of this is the summary and recommendations. So the questions that the IEP team wanted answered were, how does Sadie learn best in class? So through my classroom observation and my time that I spent with Sadie, I feel that she would learn best with one-on-one instruction with minimal stimuli. During my classroom observation, Sadie seemed most comfortable when she was working independently with her teacher, Mrs. Myro. I noticed that Sadie was quick to look around when she heard someone else talking and frequently fidgeted with her book box that was sitting on the table next to her. The second question was, what are Sadie's strengths and weaknesses in reading? Mrs. Myro reports Sadie exhibits relative strength comprehending stories that are read to her and stories that she is familiar with. Sadie is also able to learn and identify sight words when practiced on a regular basis. The assessments that were administered also report that Sadie is proficient in identifying and producing rhymes and is able to identify the beginning sound in words consistently. Areas of relative weakness include letter sound identification, segmenting and blending words, and the ability to identify the middle and ending sound in words. These areas of deficit were identified through the various testing assessments administered. The last question was what accommodations and or modifications could benefit Sadie. Sadie would likely benefit from individual and or small group instruction in reading. Sadie may benefit from using audio devices such as an iPad or computer program to further develop basic reading skills. The teacher should make sure that Sadie understands any directions written on assignments prior to having her complete any specific task. Sadie may benefit from having a buddy that she reads with and or works with on assignments. And Sadie may also benefit from a Spire reading program, which could benefit her reading ability